Welcome to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Mcfarlane Toys Warhammer Darktide Ogryn figure, which I'm very, very happy to get a hold of. If you guys may know, if you've watched the channel, I have almost all of these figures out of the Mcfarlane Warhammer line. I love them. I think they're fantastic. I think they are by far the best figures that Mcfarlane is putting out right now, and one of the best lines of action figures that exists right now. And I say that as somebody who is not a fan of Warhammer per se. I've never played the game, never been interested in it. I know a fair amount about the universe and the lore and the mythology, you know, in this Warhammer universe, but you know, I'm not a Warhammer fan, as it were. But these figures are just so good that I've just really fallen in love with this line. So here we have the new, I say new, this thing's several months old. I just finally got around to picking him up. But we have the Ogryn figure from the Darktide game. He only comes with one accessory, and that is his big ass gun here, which looks great. Did a fantastic job on this. Not a lot of paint or anything on it, but still looks really, really good. Then we have the figure itself, which looks fantastic. I think they did a great job. Sculpt on this thing is amazing. Paint is right where you would want it to be. It looks great. Look at the chest on that. We got the straps, the belt, the big pockets, the boots. We've got the subtle camo pattern on the legs, chain on the back. We got the strap going across the back. We've got the claws on the gloves, the shoulder pads. The head sculpt looks fantastic with the tattoo on his forehead. He's got tattoos here on his inner arm as well, little hash marks there. He looks fantastic. Paint and sculpt, absolutely on point. Look great for this figure. Now, let's talk about articulation. Articulation is limited on this guy because of how big he is. And you would kind of expect that, but he's pretty much right in line with a Marvel Select figure with single jointed knees and single jointed elbows, so limited articulation just because of the size of him. But again, that's kind of what you expect with a figure of this size. Would it be cool if they could have added some better articulation? Yes, of course it would have. Would it have messed with the sculpt? Yes, it definitely would have. Am I okay with this figure lacking in articulation? I am okay in this particular case. With figures of this size, just like I love Marvel Select when it comes to bigger figures, whether it be Hulk or Juggernaut or whatever, I'm okay with a figure like this having that more limited articulation. And I'll kind of do some comparisons here in just a little bit to show you just exactly how big he is. But he is just a big, chunky figure, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I think they did a fantastic job on this. So now let's go ahead and get to the comparisons here. We're going to throw up some other figures, Warhammer figures, and some other figures, just to give you guys a good sense of scale on how big this dude actually is. Alright, so first up we'll compare to a couple different sizes of Warhammer figures here. On the left we've got an Ultramarine, which is kind of the standard for the Warhammer series. Kind of gives you a good idea of what most of the figures look like, since most of them are the armored up Marine type characters. And then of course we've got one of our smaller figures without all the armor and all the, you know, jetpacks and everything else like that, also from the Warhammer line. This one's also from the Darktide series from Warhammer. So it gives you a good sense of scale here, just so you can kind of compare and see how big this dude is. He's a pretty big, hefty dude. Now, compared to some other figures in this same scale, he's not as tall as some of the other mega figs that Mcfarlane puts out, because he is considered a mega fig. But as far as just weight and bulk, he's definitely a big dude. Alright, for a couple more comparisons, just to give you a sense of scale here, on the left we've got the Michael Keaton Batman from the new Flash movie from Mcfarlane Toys. And then on the right we've got Marvel Legends Animated Spider-Man, the Walmart exclusive. And these two really give you a sense of how big this dude is. I mean, he's freaking huge. And again, like, he just looks great. At being as big as he is, having the detail in sculpt and paint that he does is really impressive. All right, so now let's talk about price here real quick. And this dude retails for $39.99, so 40 bucks, right? But that being said, just like with what we see happen with pretty much every mega fig that Mcfarlane puts out, those things go on sale because a lot of people just don't buy them, and they pretty much go on sale everywhere. And that's what happened with this one. I actually picked this guy up on Entertainment Earth for $20.48, which is half price. And I see him sell for around that price on Amazon, at Target, Walmart, stuff like that. He goes on clearance everywhere, especially right now. So this is a good time to pick him up. But the question of it being worth it, certainly worth it at the $20 give or take that you can find him on sale, but is it worth it at full retail? And I would still say yes, because, you know, it's about the price of 1.5 other standard Warhammer figures, and I do think he's worth it. I mean, he is a big, menacing, chunky, well sculpted, well painted figure, and yeah, I would say he's worth 1.5 other figures even at full retail. So yeah, I do think it's worth it even at full retail, but you obviously don't have to do that right now, which is great. I mean, look, I'm in love with the line anyway. But, you know, I'm still very, very happy to have this figure. He looks fantastic. I mean, look at that. Come on. You don't even have to care about Warhammer to appreciate this figure. It just looks great. And he's going to look so big and badass and menacing on the shelf. Very, very happy that I finally got a hold of him. So there you go, guys. That's it. Would love to hear what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know. And thank you guys for watching, and always remember to enjoy your collection.